Michigan Fair Housing Practice Test. Question 1. During an offer review in Ann Arbor, an associate broker encounters a rule involving the consequence of a license being revoked before a new application. Which response follows Michigan law? While the file concerns a condominium unit, a earnest minus money receipt, and a rejected counteroffer? Option A, a complete only a transfer request. Option B, wait at least 3 years after service of the final order. Option C, reapply immediately after paying a fee. Option D, wait 30 days. The correct answer is option B. Wait at least 3 years after service of the final order. Revocation creates a statutory waiting period before a new license application. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. A routine transfer or fee payment cannot bypass the sanction. Question 2. A employing broker is preparing for an open house in Kalamazoo. Which statement correctly addresses the education calculation for relicensure when expiration was less than 3 years ago, while the file concerns a retail suite, a license transfer request, and an assumed business name? Option A. No education is required. Option B. Repeat only the original exam. Option C. Complete 6 hours for each elapsed year or partial year. Option D. A complete 40 hours for every missed month. The correct answer is option C. Complete 6 hours for each elapsed year or partial year. Recent relicensure uses a year minus by minus year continuing education calculation. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. The original salesperson course is not automatically the only route in this situation. Question 3. Which Michigan requirement should control when a buyer representative deals with the additional choices after a license has lapsed for 3 years or more during a brokerage audit, while the file concerns a manufactured home site, an inspection addendum, and a security minus deposit question? Option A. Use an employer transfer without review. Option B. Reactivate through a local association. Option C. Meet the stated relicensure education or examination pathway. Option D. Pay a late fee only. The correct answer is option C. Meet the stated relicensure education or examination pathway. A long minus expired credential requires more than a routine renewal transaction. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Local membership does not restore state authority to practice. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass in payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. At a license application, the brokerage discusses the timing of the Michigan agency disclosure. Which conclusion is most accurate? While the file concerns a 2- unit rental, a broker supervision log, and a dual- representation concern. Option A. Only after closing. Option B. Whenever the licensee chooses. Option C. After the first offer is rejected. Option D. Before the prospect reveals transaction minus specific confidential information. The correct answer is option D. Before the prospect reveals transaction minus specific confidential information. Available agency relationships and their duties must be explained early in the interaction. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. A closing minus stage disclosure would come too late to protect informed choice. Question 5. A compliance question in Pontiac concerns the form of the required agency relationship disclosure. Which action or statement is appropriate, while the file concerns a historic residence, a earnest minus money receipt, and a protected minus class inquiry? Option A. A note prepared after settlement. Option B. A written disclosure. Option C. A social minus media post. Option D. An oral statement only. The correct answer is option B. A written disclosure. Michigan requires documentation of the agency information given to a prospective buyer or seller. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Informal conversation alone does not satisfy the statutory format. Question 6. How should a Michigan new applicant handle a situation involving acting for more than one party in a transaction without their knowledge, while the file concerns a student rental, a license transfer request, and a disputed repair credit? Option A. Permitted whenever commission is shared. Option B. Allowed if the property is residential. Option C. Required in every transaction. Option D. Prohibited conduct subject to discipline. The correct answer is option D. Prohibited conduct subject to discipline. A licensee cannot secretly undertake conflicting representation. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Compensation structure or property type does not eliminate the conflict. Question 7. Which choice best applies the state rule concerning a salesperson attempting to represent a broker other than the employing broker to an advertising campaign, while the file concerns a vacant commercial parcel, an inspection addendum, and an electronic signature? Option A. Only the buyer must approve. Option B. A title company may authorize it. Option C. The employer's express knowledge and consent are required. Option D. The salesperson may do so without notice. The correct answer is option C. The employer's express knowledge and consent are required. A salesperson's regulated activity is controlled through the employing brokerage. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. A transaction participant cannot substitute for the broker's supervisory authority. Question 8. A file from Grand Rapids raises an issue about the meaning of a seller's agent. Which answer identifies the governing requirement, while the file concerns an industrial site, a broker supervision log, and a referral arrangement? Option A. A lender's underwriting employee. Option B. A licensee representing the seller with fiduciary responsibilities. Option C. A person representing only the buyer. Option D. A neutral county official. The correct answer is option B. A licensee representing the seller with fiduciary responsibilities. Seller representation places the licensee on the owner's side of the agency relationship. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. The role is different from neutral coordination or buyer advocacy. Are you looking for real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access real estate study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get real estate answer key today. Question 9. Before completing a closing preparation, which rule should the licensee apply to the meaning of a buyer's agent, while the file concerns a new construction home, a earnest minus money receipt, and a team social minus media post? Option A. The seller's property inspector. Option B. A licensee representing the purchaser's interests. Option C. The listing broker in every case. Option D. The closing notary. The correct answer is option B. A licensee representing the purchaser's interests. Buyer representation is established to advocate for the purchaser in the transaction. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Performing a ministerial closing task does not create this relationship. Question 10. A Michigan exam candidate reviews a scenario involving the purpose of informed consent in dual representation. Which option reflects the current licensing framework, while the file concerns a mixed-use building, a license transfer request, and a record inspection request? Option A will allow the parties to knowingly approve the conflict-managed relationship. Option B. Let the salesperson work for two brokers. Option C. Guarantee a specific sale price. Option D. Eliminate every disclosure duty. The correct answer is option A. Allow the parties to knowingly approve the conflict-managed relationship. Dual representation involves duties that may compete between opposing clients. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Consent does not promise an outcome or erase mandatory honesty. Question 11. The broker's policy manual addresses the role of designated agency within a brokerage. Which provision should it contain, while the file concerns a cooperative unit, an inspection addendum, and a branch-office distance issue? Option A. The parties become unrepresented automatically. Option B. One licensee secretly represents both sides. Option C. The broker stops supervising the transaction. Option D. Different affiliated licensees represent opposing clients under brokerage safeguards. The correct answer is option D. Different affiliated licensees represent opposing clients under brokerage safeguards. Designation can separate client representation among affiliated licensees. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. The structure is not a license for undisclosed dual loyalty. Question 12. A regulator asks about the role of a transaction coordinator during a brokerage review. Which response demonstrates compliance, while the file concerns a farm parcel, a broker supervision log, and a financing contingency? Option A. A universal agent for both parties. Option B. The county equalization officer. Option C. The owner of the listing. Option D. A licensee who is not acting as agent for either buyer or seller. The correct answer is option D. A licensee who is not acting as agent for either buyer or seller. A coordination role may facilitate documents and communications without client advocacy. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Administrative support does not create unlimited authority over either party. Question 13. Which statement would be safest for a buyer representative to follow when the effective compensation on determining agency becomes relevant, while the file concerns a lakefront cottage, a earnest minus money receipt, and an unrepresented consumer? Option A. Only cash compensation creates agency. Option B. Commission creates dual agency automatically. Option C. Payment alone does not decide whom the licensee represents. Option D. The payer is always the client. The correct answer is option C. Payment alone does not decide whom the licensee represents. Agency depends on the relationship and disclosures rather than the source of money alone. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. The form of compensation does not replace the need to identify the actual principal. Question 14. A dispute arises during a listing presentation over the source from which a salesperson may accept brokerage compensation. Which principal resolves the issue, while the file concerns a townhouse, a license transfer request, and a confidential price limit? Option A. A home inspector. Option B. The employing real estate broker. Option C. Any cooperating salesperson. Option D. A buyer directly without broker involvement. The correct answer is option B. The employing real estate broker. Salesperson earnings for regulated activity flow through the employing brokerage. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. A transaction participant cannot bypass the broker by paying the salesperson directly. Question 15. In Lansing, a property manager must decide how to proceed with payment of commissions earned before a salesperson left a brokerage. Which decision is consistent with Michigan requirements, while the file concerns a urban infill property, an inspection addendum, and a change of employing broker? Option A. The former broker may pay the income that was earned during employment. Option B. Payment is allowed only after reliquenture. Option C. The new broker must collect it first. Option D. The money must be forfeited. The correct answer is option A. The former broker may pay the income that was earned during employment. Compensation already earned under the former employment relationship may still be distributed afterward. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. A later transfer or licensing change does not automatically cancel earned income. Question 16. Which exam answer accurately classifies the rule involving the ability to sue for a brokerage commission, while the file concerns a subdivision lot, a broker supervision log, and an owner-licensee conflict? Option A. A license is irrelevant in a compensation action. Option B. Licensure must be alleged and proved for the regulated services. Option C. Only the buyer's signature is needed. Option D. An oral advertisement establishes entitlement. The correct answer is option B. Licensure must be alleged and proved for the regulated services. A person seeking judicial recovery for regulated brokerage work must establish lawful licensure. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Advertising or a participant's signature cannot replace occupational authority. Question 17. A new policy is being drafted for regular contact between a broker and salesperson. Which language belongs in the policy, while the file concerns a rural acreage, a earnest minus money receipt, and an expired license issue? Option A. It is part of the broker's required supervision. Option B. It is optional after the first closing. Option C. It is replaced by customer reviews. Option D. It may be prohibited by contract. The correct answer is option A. It is part of the broker's required supervision. Supervision includes direct communication through in-person or electronic means on a regular basis. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Private contracts cannot remove the broker's statutory oversight role. Question 18. During team training, the supervising broker tests knowledge of reviewing a salesperson's practice and transaction reports. Which answer should the team select, while the file concerns a single-family residence, a license transfer request, and a property-management payment? Option A. It occurs only after a complaint. Option B. It is performed only by the tax assessor. Option C. It is unnecessary for independent contractors. Option D. It is a required supervisory activity. The correct answer is option D. It is a required supervisory activity. Broker oversight extends to how the salesperson performs regulated work and reports activity. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Independent minus contractor classification does not cancel licensing supervision. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A consumer asks the brokerage to explain providing written operating policies and procedures. Which explanation reflects Michigan law? While the file concerns a small apartment building, an inspection addendum, and a delayed possession term. Option A. It is optional if the firm has a logo. Option B. It is prohibited as legal advice. Option C. It may be delegated to a buyer. Option D. It is part of adequate salesperson supervision. The correct answer is option D. It is part of adequate salesperson supervision. Written policies give affiliated licensees consistent directions for regulated activity. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Branding or client instructions cannot replace internal operating guidance. Question 20. Which compliance step is required when the transaction facts involve a contract clause that removes the broker's authority to supervise a salesperson, while the file concerns a office condominium, a broker supervision log, and a cooperating brokerage? Option A. The clause is not permitted. Option B. The clause transfers supervision to the seller. Option C. The clause is required for contractors. Option D. The clause is valid if notarized. The correct answer is option A. The clause is not permitted. Employment wording cannot strip the broker of statutory supervisory power. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Notarization does not validate a provision that conflicts with licensing law. Question 21. A associate broker notices a potential problem involving an additional Michigan place of business maintained by a broker. Which response should occur first? While the file concerns a condominium unit, a earnest minus money receipt, and a rejected counteroffer? Option A. Only an MLS subscription is required. Option B. The location is automatically covered forever. Option C. A branch office license is required. Option D. The salesperson obtains a separate broker license. The correct answer is option C. A branch office license is required. Each additional brokerage location must be connected to an authorized branch office. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. A membership account or salesperson credential does not license the location. Question 22. The state portion of the exam presents facts about a branch office located more than 25 miles from the nearest boundary of the main office municipality. Which result is supported? While the file concerns a retail suite, a license transfer request, and an assumed business name. Option A. No supervision is required. Option B. A customer may supervise the branch. Option C. An associate broker must provide direct supervision at the branch. Option D. The branch must close permanently. The correct answer is option C. An associate broker must provide direct supervision at the branch. Distance from the main minus office municipality triggers an enhanced branch minus supervision requirement. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Remote availability alone does not satisfy the stated arrangement. Question 23. Which brokerage practice properly addresses the physical minus location requirement for an individual broker, broker company, or branch office in the Grand Rapids transaction, while the file concerns a manufactured home site, an inspection addendum, and a security minus deposit question? Option A. Maintain a physical address in Michigan. Option B. Use only a post minus office box anywhere. Option C. Use the address of any salesperson. Option D. Operate without a listed location. The correct answer is option A. Maintain a physical address in Michigan. Brokerage offices must have an identifiable Michigan business location. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. An unrelated person's address cannot stand in for the licensed office. Question 24. A licensee is comparing 4 procedures related to mixing client transaction money with brokerage operating funds. Which procedure is lawful, while the file concerns a 2-unit rental, a broker supervision log, and a dual-representation concern? Option A. A standard marketing practice. Option B. Required interest allocation. Option C. A permissible commission advance. Option D. Commingling that can lead to discipline. The correct answer is option D. Commingling that can lead to discipline. Money belonging to others must be accounted for separately from the firm's own operating cash. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. A business convenience does not justify blending the accounts. Question 25. At the end of a team training, the parties question using money belonging to a client for the broker's own purpose. Which statement provides the best guidance, while the file concerns a historic residence, a earnest minus money receipt, and a protected minus class inquiry? Option A. A conversion of entrusted funds. Option B. A disclosure waiver. Option C. A comparative market analysis. Option D. A lawful prioration. The correct answer is option A. Conversion of entrusted funds. Personal use of entrusted transaction money is a serious breach of accounting duties. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Closing calculations and valuation work are unrelated concepts.